I'm not fooling with it.
All right, settling down now. So we've got a great show planned, so let's keep the energy positive. Any other ideas before we wrap? All right, you two, save it for the couch. We're here. Just smile and wave.
Ain't going away. She's a devil, she's in the state. Playing in my face now, bitch. I ain't never going nowhere.
Ooh, do you dream of me in your sleep? Wake up one night, like hoping you don't see me. Creeping around your street,
I told you to stop.
You'll catch that
You never listen. Well, here we go again. We're making hamburger shaped as hearts on a special cooking segment on my show with this fine ass guy. I can't even pay attention. He is so damn hot. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I tried to make him get along, but they just back here fighting. You can't win, girl. Cut it out. Stop fighting like this, y'all sisters.
How do we get a body like yours? How do we get very healthy and fit, but I don't want to be muscular?
So come and see me, yeah. You know what the hell I mean? I'm not fooling with it.
Took you many years to get famous on YouTube. How did you be so patient this long? I'm losing my mind here.
Another day. It's the Naomi Talk Show. Are you ready? Welcome to the Naomi Talk Show. So glad you're here. Let's get started. Welcome to the Naomi Show. I am sitting here this week with my mother-in-law. This week, I'm sitting down and discussing very important topics with her about her personality. We've had this conversation in person before, but I wanted to bring her on the show, not to come off in a way where it's going to embarrass her.
Yeah.
We are going to get to the important details with certainty, but in a respectable way in this episode of how I feel she comes off towards people and how she can make a change in the future.
Right.
Sometimes people in life think it's okay to make certain remarks in front of people and think it's acceptable when it could be very extremely disrespectful.
Yeah.
Now, in this episode, I don't think that you did anything maliciously on purpose, but I still think you didn't respect people's boundaries, and that's what we're talking about mostly.
Yeah.
I also know that you did things because you missed your son, and I completely understand that, and he doesn't live in your country anymore, so you were acting out of love, and I get that now. But I didn't also make it clear in this episode that me and your son also feel like sometimes, you make decisions after you figure out what Hank wants to do, and that can be annoying.
Yeah.
Like I tell you a million times, when you want to go somewhere with your son doesn't need to ask me for permission. Just telling me where he's going is fine enough. And I also break it down as well that I felt like over the summer, your mind tells you your mother's older, but your mind also believes she's your age too, and that's not fair on her relationship or yours. And I want to make it clear to the audience that she doesn't mistreat her mom. She just has a very weird relationship with her mother, and I'm very close to mine, so it's very strange to me. It's like I'll be scratching my head at some point, because I'm like, you love washing dishes, you love cooking, you love cleaning the house, but you don't involve helping your mother, who is an older woman.
Yeah.
And you do it at home for a grown man, but you won't do it for your mother.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, it's just like, it's a bit weird. When you kind of lack the caretaking ability, when you do it in your own home with Hank, who doesn't need caretaking, but you love to do it. I mean, I even remember the time that Jay came down and washed the dish when he was still living there, and you were confused. You thought he was mad at you for washing a dish. You'll kind of turn around and talk her into getting you a teddy bear, but then won't see her for like 2 weeks. She's 80 years old. You understand that's wrong, right?
Yes, I know.
So this is why I get very aggressive towards you when I see you doing something malicious to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she's not going to do what she does to her mother than me, because I'm not going to have it. Instead of handling you like I would handle anybody in this predicament, I respect you enough to tell Jay to talk to you and get you to understand I'm not that girl and you don't want to play with me. Listen, Mimi, I'm not Miss America, and you know I'm not. I have a bad attitude. Sometimes I talk down to people. I get very angry at points in times, but I can recognize that in myself.
Yeah.
I don't need another person to tell me, okay, Naomi, you are a bit rude. I know I'm a bit rude, and I try to fix that about myself every day.
Yeah.
And we both are Scorpios, so I know you know what you do most of the time, and you do it maliciously, and you hide your hands. We get upset sometimes, and it's okay to express that. You do a lot of hiding your emotions, and it doesn't help, because then you end up snapping on the wrong person.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you just were listening to some of my talk show bits from this week. Hit the link below if you want to hear the full story of this conversation. I got a public announcement. If you're watching the full video, you don't need to hit on any links. Obviously, if you're watching the full video right now and I clicked you into this link, no need to hit any but. That wasn't for you. That was for the people who are watching this on the shorts that might want to come and see the full video. So you go ahead and keep watching this and mind your business. I'm just kidding. But we're pretty much sitting down on my talk show trying to understand each other, listening and not judging, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
But this is for my full episode on my channel right now. It's on the link below. All you have to do is hit it, and if you want to watch the full episode, but the episode is a little bit older, but it is great. It gives you great understanding.
Yeah.
Once again, for the people who couldn't understand, para ustedes, sigan viendo esto y ocúpense de sus asuntos. I'm just kidding. Dit was voor de mensen van de shorts die de hele video wilden zien. Blijf kijken en bemoei je met je eigen zaken. Ik maak maar een grapje.
एक बार फिर उन लोगों के लिए जो समझ नहीं पाए, आपके लिए जो शॉर्ट्स पे ये देख रहे थे और पूरा वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं, तो आप जाइए और देखते रहिए और अपना काम कीजिए. मैं तो बस मजाक कर रही हूँ.
다시 한번 이해 못한 분들을 위해서요. 계속 보고 참견 마세요. 농담이고요.
مرة أخرى للناس اللي ما فهموش كملوا تتفرجوا في هذا واهتموا بشؤونكم أنا أمزح فقط
A mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, a brother-in-law, anything in between. You're struggling and you want to get some better understanding on how to fix it or how to get around it. This is the episode for you.
Yeah.
Certain things that you say sometimes shouldn't be said, and if it's going to be said, it should be sitting in front of everyone.
I completely understand where you're coming from. You know, I've always been this way. I always kind of been shut down where I don't like to express my feelings or talk about things that bother me.
Yeah.
And I think the older I got, the worse it got for me, especially when I lost my father. You know, he was a person that I could talk to and he would understand me without the judgment.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I can't do that with my mother, but, you know, some parents you have a better understanding with trying to get through with your personality, and that was my father for me.
Yeah.
Where I think I lash out at people that I love and do weird stuff and make people uncomfortable. It's like kind of an expression to me, but I don't know how to express myself, so I nitpick.
Yeah.
My mom taught me how to do certain things, and you know who I am today with the cleaning and being a great wife. But my father, I could express how I'm feeling completely and be myself.
Yeah.
You can pretty much say that I was a daddy's girl. I always have been, so it was quite hard, you know, seeing him sick and then him passing. And then my son moved away before this happened. So it was kind of like losing two people that I was very close to.
And so this is why I kind of stay in my own world most of the time, which is kind of wrong on my behalf because it's like I'm lacking being a good daughter and taking care of my mother. But I'm also afraid, you know, that if I go there when I'm feeling these emotions, it causes me to argue or say something to my mother, hurting her feelings in the process.
But I'm not quite handling well, so I'm reflecting onto other people and being just a nasty individual. So I stay home and I kind of live in my own world. I was a little bit more open when my son lived with me. When he comes by to visit every once in a while, it helps, but then I go into a panic because I know at some point in time he has to go back home again and I won't be able to see him for long periods of time, so I get depressed all over again and take it out of my mother. I know you guys look at it like I live in this bubble, which most of the time I do, or a dollhouse, which most of the time I do, but it's something I love to do and it keeps me happy and not depressed.
Yeah.
I understand the whole entire Hank situation where you guys think that I don't know how to move or walk, and unless Hank's involved, and that's understandable for you guys to think that, and possibly I know that I can change some of my ways. I'm also a work in progress. You know, I can't change that overnight, but this is why I'm making the attempt to come to America on my own. And that's why when you guys was visiting, I went downtown and sometimes got on the bus by myself to hang out with Jurgen and spend some quality time.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there, Mimi, because we're going to take a look at our old interview I sit down from 6 months ago. And this interview we did with each other 6 months ago, I think she handled it quite well, but I wanted to come back and update the episode before I released it, just to clean it up a bit. A couple of videos before this, I kind of lashed out at her and said a couple of things before this video was released, so it's pointless to kind of rehash that again, so I kind of edited that out.
Yeah.
So we're going to watch this interview, but it's like 30 minutes long, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have a conversation with her husband, Hank, on my stage right here. I can't wait, so let's check out this video right now. Welcome to the show on Naomi and the Naomi Show, and we have a very special episode today. My mother-in-law is on the show for her second time, but now we sit down and we dig deep into some issues. The getting real just got real. Are y'all ready? Come take a seat and join us. Now, this is also a different episode because we jump into Dutch in English throughout the episode because her first is Dutch and my first language is English. Vandaag hebben we een speciale gast. We gaan een mix doen van Engels en Nederlands. The second time we're not having any fun and we're getting straight into the big issues. So I might be tough, so I might be difficult, but we gotta do it. Of course, you know, I'll be talking in English, but my mother-in-law will be talking in Dutch, and we'll get you through it. But if it's too difficult, just turn on your subtitling. That should help you. And just warning ahead of time, this is the longest episode of my show history. She got a lot of baggage. What can I say?
Hoe is het weer veranderd? Ik beter doorvoelen. Ik hijg naar een beetje lucht. Hoe zie ik dat alles veranderd is? Maar waarom blijft het hetzelfde? Hey, de donder is uit mijn raam. Pijn die ervoor moet zorgen dat de dingen hetzelfde blijven. Het is maar één dag, het is maar één dag. Laat het niet verloren gaan. Nooit zal gedaan komen. Nooit gezien aankomen. Het voelde gewoon als een wolk dat verstopte zich onder de zon. Ik zal papa's kleine meisje zijn. Ik mis je, mijn hart zal altijd een ton wegen. Ik hield veel vast alsof het een duistere zonde was. Ik wist dat het niet goed voor me was. Ik wist gewoon niet waar ik het moest neerzetten. Ik had het gevoel dat het gewicht was. Dat plus 10 het enige wat ik wist was. Dat ik je uiteindelijk wilde zien. Ik heb je hart nooit willen zien. Ik wilde je nooit pijn zien. En ik denk niet dat mijn moeder hetzelfde zal zijn. Dus ik ga gewoon, ga. Ik moest het doen, het was voor mijn ouders. Je had me nodig, dus ik sprak. Ik beklom mini muren op zoek naar wat hulp. Ik had zoiets van verdomme.
So, have you ever had an overbearing mother-in-law?
I have one right now that cannot stand me. She does not like me and she doesn't want me married to her daughter.
That is absolutely horrible. I feel bad for you, sir. Have you ever had a mother-in-law that thinks her mother is 35 when she's in her 80s?
No, I've never had that. That would be weird.
That is what I'm dealing with today with my mother-in-law, and that's why I brought her to the show, so I can help the world understand along with me.
Well, I'm definitely in on knowing what the answer is to that.
Well, I guess we'll find out together, but thank you so much for talking to me. I swear to y'all, I didn't mean for this episode to be so long, but it just ended up needing a red redo in here. We are today in almost 40 minutes. So let's go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with my girl, Mimi. Oh my God, you smell so good. Is that perfume? What is that?
Oh no, that's just my detergent, Sparkle Fresh, and get it in the store now.
All of these teddy bears are so great. Which one do you want for your niece?
I'm not sure.
Go on Teddy Bear, it's realnaomi.com. This is the great one, and he's super expensive, like $1,000. You should get this one.
Have you tasted this protein bar? It's super delicious.
No, what's delicious about it?
Oh my God, the taste is amazing. It doesn't even taste like a protein bar. It's from Naomi.
I am so glad that I met you on this app. You are totally hotter in person.
Thanks, but that wasn't me.
I don't care. Hey guys, welcome to Late Night, my Saturday show, where I talk about celebrities' news in the Orange Pumpkin. If you're into stuff like that, come join me every Saturday night here at Naomi TV. You want a good laugh? This is the place. I promise I won't disappoint. Come check it out if you dare. We are back from the commercial and we're sitting down with my mother-in-law, Mimi. We're getting to know what goes on in that head of hers, so let's continue to dive in, shall we? Trying to figure out if you really trying to play us up or are you a little bit cray-cray? Because we've been trying to figure it out sometimes, girl.
You know, there is some things that I kind of shake my head over and say, why do you do that? It's very strange.
Yeah, that's me every day. I'm a very strange person, but I'm fine with that.
I understand you're okay with being weird. I don't have a problem with the weird part. I have a problem with the favoritism. What do you mean favoritism? I don't do that. That's not what I do.
Well, I don't feel that way. I feel like it was an excuse, but when it came down to your mom, you kind of crucified her when nobody asked you to ask her anything.
I know, but I wanted to do it for me and my son. So you got mad and upset with your mother, but when it came to Petri, you were still willing to talk to her even after what she did.
I wasn't trying to speak to her. I was just trying to make it seem like you guys didn't go anywhere. But I never asked you, and neither did you, Jurgen. We never asked you to ask your mother that.
I wanted to do it because I wanted you guys to stay longer. So I asked everyone.
But you got to understand, staying in your mother's house at her age, it's not a great solid idea. It's quite dumb.
If you why is that dumb? It's his grandmother. She should want to take care of him.
We should have been asked before you did that.
I know I should have asked, and I apologize for that, but I don't regret it.
You know, me and Jay are almost in our 40s. You should have never asked a woman in her 80s to take care of two adults. It does not make sense.
And the fact that you went out your way to ask your neighbor friend when you knew how me and Jurgen felt about that situation was also disrespectful. It was like you were undermining me on purpose.
Yeah. Now, I want to be clear about that part. When we come down to the Netherlands, I can come down and visit anyone because that's why it's called vacation. But I come down to see you and Hank.
That's it.
And your mother. I don't come down there to socialize with people you and Hank have met over the year. I just don't care to get to know anyone.
I came down there for Jay's family. That's it. Yeah. And I don't have no pressure towards them in general. I just don't care to get to know anyone.
Now, what if me and Jay came down to see you and your family, but we were hanging out visit Billy Joel and Billie Jean from Texas? Y'all would be looking at us sideways. Like, you could do that in America. So that's how I was kind of looking at you and Hank like sideways because of like, great, y'all have drinking parties and hang out with your neighborhood friends. Believe me, and Jay out of that shit for real. That has nothing to do with me. So when I turned around and found out that you tried to introduce him behind my back and introduce him to what? He don't need to know your neighborhood friend. He came to meet you to see you. That's it.
Zij was gewoon iemand met wie ik kon praten in die tijd dat ik heel close was, omdat ik mijn zoon niet had. Dus ik werd daar super ecstatic over. Dat was allemaal niets uit kwaadwilligheid. Ze was gewoon iemand met wie ik kon praten in die tijd dat ik heel close was, omdat ik mijn zoon niet had. Dus ik werd super blij. Dat was allemaal niet kwaadwillig bedoeld.
And it's almost like, I feel like sometimes, Mimi, you kind of like try to control the narrative, but this is how you got in this mess to begin with. You didn't think the last one was smart enough to be with your man. So years later, after this infidelity situation, you turn around and you have an older version hang out with your man, and you're telling everyone that you got it under control, or you're controlling the narrative. But Mimi, you didn't control the first narrative. It happened right under your nose.
And trust me, I'm not blaming you because you wasn't the one that pursued. If it was my man, I would have handled that completely different than you handled your situation. It wouldn't have been pretty.
Je hebt helemaal gelijk. Ik zag dat niet aankomen. Ik had in mijn wildste verbeelding nooit geloofd dat dat ooit zou zijn gebeurd. Ik had het gewoon nooit zien aankomen. Ik was geschokt. Of gewoon omdat we haar al zoveel jaren kenden en het een ander soort situatie was. Je begrijpt de situatie dat het gewoon niet zo ver zou zijn gekomen. Ik geloof het gewoon niet in mijn hoofd.
Let's move on from this topic, because this topic I don't really want to discuss in this episode, but I thank you for opening up, Mimi, on the subject. I want to kind of revisit your mom and you and how you get so angry sometimes at your mother, knowing that's all you have in the world, Mimi. Your father's gone now, all you have is your mother.
Mijn moeder is erg ingewikkeld om over te praten. Ik weet niet wat het is of wat me triggert als het op mijn moeder aankomt. Ik hou van mijn moeder. Ik probeer het beste voor haar te doen. Ik ga langs wanneer ik kan. Ik weet dat het niet genoeg is, maar ik heb gewoon een mentale blokkade. Ik ben een werk in uitvoering. Ik probeer nog steeds te verwerken waarom ik me zo tegenover haar gedraag.
It's funny to me how you kind of get so upset for weeks at a time at your own mother, but don't recognize that woman called the cops on your son.
I understand your concern. I get that. But at the time I was thinking about my son, I would have done anything to spend more time with him.
You know, I know you and your son don't fight and it ain't about the violence, but I just wouldn't have stood there and let a woman, a full-grown woman, he was in his house making everyone believe in that house that we were manipulating Martin and taking advantage of him when Peter and her have been doing this for years.
And you of all people know how the hell me and Jay is set up. That old 67-year-old heifer could never be me in 1 million years. She could never have my life. She know that, you know that town know that.
You sat there with your son shocked, bewildered about what was coming out of her mouth, but you never said anything or did anything, but will turn against your own mother, had a drop of a hat.
Sat there, Mimi, I wasn't expecting you to fight. I wasn't expecting you to do no Jerry Springer shit, but you knew she had been very distant this whole entire time from her own brother, and you said nothing.
All of us have a lot of enemies. I know I have many enemies, and they still adding up, but your mama ain't one of them, and you can't make me feel that way any day of the week, and that's on, period.
You got mad at your mom for the same principles is what I'm trying to say to you, Mimi, but then when it came down to a woman threatening your son, it just busted off your shoulders and went back across the street like it was nothing. But completely turned against your mother.
I get what you're saying, Naomi. I understand that, but it's more to it.
If not more to it, to me, like I told you before, and I'm gonna tell you again, your mom paid for that hotel for us for a whole month. She didn't need to do anything else.
I understand that you're absolutely correct about that part.
Turn around, get here and have some average bitch just blocking our blessings for no apparent reason like we some fucking freeloaders.
I understand that I was in shock just like my son was. We didn't expect that.
But for real, y'all got this bitch walking down the street casually with this dog that I bought. Mind you, this is the second dog that I bought, just walking down the street casually like she has best fucking friends.
Everybody on that street, everybody in this audience, all my viewers know she would have caught all these hands that day. On that moment, it would have been worth it for me in the end, I promise you that. She got this whole town believing she was there the whole entire time helping this man. You're the post office sister, the one that dropped the letters in the box. Girl, that is who you are on this shit.
Whoa. The only reason she is helping is because she see that green. That's the only reason. That green mean money. What the hell are you helping him now for when you avoided him for years?
Well, I'm not trying to put any pressure towards you, Mimi, but if I was in that house sitting there with you and you again in Martin's house, it would have popped the F off.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on my show. I really am, so we can talk, sit down and express ourselves, because this is not an attack Mimi moment.
how I operate. I'm not going to be a certain way or a certain person. If I'm going to protect you, I'm going to protect Jurgen as well. That's how I operate. And I'm not trying to bring up the past and throw it in your face. I'm just trying to let you learn from your mistakes on the simple fact that you're playing the fiddle.
Ik weet dat ik het beter had moeten doen. Ik ben niet zo mondig als jij. Ik was bevroren. Ik wist niet wat ik moest zeggen of doen. Ik was gechoqueerd.
Like, honestly, that day, I could have went over to that house and F his father up and gave it to that sister like no other, because I'm upset because I know me and I would have done them the F up, and I'm happy that my husband looked out for me that day.
I don't need to be crying on my show.
Jay knows how I operate. He didn't let me know anything on that day. He just said he'll be back, but he already knew that if I knew she was gonna handle that Miss Annie in the wig with a caught his hands that day. And I'm not threatening anybody. Trust and believe me. And I've moved on slightly and healed slightly, but don't mistake my kindness for weakness, because it will be on and popping once again. I'm built like this, I'm made like this, and I'm always ready for any and everybody.
Ze zijn zo tegen me geweest in een hele huwelijk. Dus ik begrijp hoe jij je erbij voelt. En ik weet dat je waarschijnlijk door dat huis heen zou zijn gegaan als je er toen, vroeger, bij was geweest.
And I'm not emotional because of those people. I'm emotional because they're gonna have me outside of my character because they miss me. I'm just not big on people being bullied or becoming a bully. I don't believe that you're a bully, but I do believe that day how you treated your mom was bully activity. It's like this whole act of villainizing her when it works for you, but how can you run to someone who's a villain?
Did she not buy you a dog? Does she not buy you dolls? Did she not help you when you need money? Does she not do all those things?
Absolutely. My mother does all those things, and I appreciate that. So why get upset when your mom says no to you about going downtown to visit Jurgen? Why get upset at that, but not at Petrie?
Ik heb het gevoel dat toen het op mijn zoon aankwam, mijn moeder wist hoe ik me voelde. Ze wist dat ik hem zo erg miste, dus ik weet niet waarom ze het me zo moeilijk maakte toen hem hier was.
It's a very hard struggle for me, mentally and physically. A lot of things. You're, again, my father, a lot of things. Ik denk dat ik veel depressie heb doorgemaakt en niet wist waar ik de depressie kwijt moest. En dus geef ik mezelf de schuld. Ik mis mijn zoon enorm. Hij was zo ver weg. Ik kon niet met hem praten wanneer ik dat nodig had. Ik had niemand die naar me kon luisteren. Henk is niet iemand met wie ik kon praten. Hij luistert wel, maar hij luistert niet echt naar me. Soms voel ik me gek, soms hoor ik dingen in mijn oren rinkelen. Ik wil niet dat mensen medelijden met me hebben, dus houd ik het voor mezelf. En dan raak ik gestrest en haal ik uit.
For all my audience that only speak English or do not speak Dutch, and I just want to fill you in and say she's just crying about her pain and her hurt and her depression. That's pretty much what she's saying. She doesn't know where to put her depression sometimes. And she lashes out on people, and sometimes it might be her mother or people who can't lash back out at her. Which I'm assuming she means if she was to lash out at Hank, he would probably bark back. Which would make it worse for her and her depression, correct? Absolutely, that's what I mean. I'm gonna give her a minute. We're gonna go backstage because she needs a minute. Let me give you a hug. You need a hug. Okay, everything will be all right. Let's go to a commercial break and we'll be right back to the Naomi Show.
Welcome to Jay's Game Show. Are you out of your freaking mind? Let's guess these celebrities.
It's Julia Roberts.
Correct. Coming soon to Naomi TV on YouTube.
Where are the Naomi chocolate chip cookies? Ooh, over there. Yum. Completely delicious.
The best soda ever. Naomi Cola.
This pumpkin cereal tastes exactly how you think it will taste. Crunchy, old, and soggy, just like you think it would. It's the best cereal around. Get your pumpkin cakes right now. It's in stores. You'll love it. I vote orange, do you? And it tastes good, I promise you. And if you want to make it real messy, grab yourself some chocolate syrup like I did, Trumpy syrup, and pour it right on the top of the cereal, and you got yourself a mess.
Too broke to get your car fixed? Too broke to get parts for your car? Well, no more. You can take a loan out with me, Naomi Loan a Hoe. Call us right now, 1-800-GIVE-ME-YOUR-MONEY.
Hey guys, welcome to Late Night, my Saturday show, where I talk about celebrities' news in the Orange Pumpkin. If you're into stuff like that, come join me every Saturday night here at Naomi TV. You want a good laugh? This is the place. I promise I won't disappoint. Come check it out if you dare.
Welcome back to the show, and we're sitting down and interviewing my mother-in-law, Mimi, as we were just tackling some tough issues.
You've been doing a great job, Mimi, holding in and taking all the things that I've been throwing at you. Now, I have a question for you, and this is for your hubby. Do you take full accountability for not sitting down and having that full conversation with them?
Because you were dealing with, again, moving to America, you were dealing with your father passing, and now it's Hank's situation on top of that. Do you think you're fully healed or accepted an apology too quick?
I'm sorry I said something by accident that I need to correct. I said she moved to America. I didn't mean her. I meant Jane, her son, moved to America, which caused a depression.
Because I know when I'm around you, and you mentioned a lot of things about like your father and your relationship with your mom, you never really mention that. Because bottling it up in a corner and pretending it doesn't exist doesn't help your situation either. It makes it worse. I think this is why you put so many protocols into effect for Hank. So have you actually considered or sat down and said to yourself if you really completely forgave Hank in this situation?
I forgave him, but I don't think my mind forgave him yet.
Ik heb het gevoel dat wanneer we dingen uitpraten, hij hoort wat hij wil horen, ik hoor wat ik wil horen en we botsen, vinden geen gemeenschappelijke basis, komen niet tot een middenweg. Ik heb het gevoel dat wanneer we dingen uitpraten, hij hoort wat hij wil horen, ik hoor wat ik wil horen en we botsen, vinden geen gemeenschappelijke basis, komen niet tot een middenweg.
And don't think for a second, Hank, that I let you off the hook either for turning around months later and being casual with Jay's father. You was not the only one having fingers pointed because you was in the wrong as well.
You're not the difference between right and wrong. Now, if you want to still befriend him, you should have said that to my face so I could have made the executive decision to cut you out.
And then I don't want to hear this is the Dutch way. This is how we do it in the Netherlands. I'm not from the Netherlands. You want to pull that card? I can do the American way. And slap a bitch.
Wat ik probeer te zeggen is dat ik denk dat ik hem veel te snel heb vergeven en mezelf het niet heb laten verwerken zoals het hoort.
That absolutely makes sense in this situation. We'll talk about more of that in a later episode. But we're here to kind of sit down and really understand what is the bigger underlying issue.
We're here to kind of sit down and really understand what is the bigger underlying issue with your mother and yourself and how we can fix that.
Well, I've noticed kind of like a lot of people in your mom's neighborhood takes care of your mom on a daily basis. And you don't see an issue with that.
Ik ben veel thuis bezig. Ik heb veel verantwoordelijkheid thuis. Maar ik probeer de moeite te doen en tijd vrij te maken. Ik zit alleen vaak in mijn hoofd.
Now, her neighbor be at her back and call anytime she fell or anytime she needed to be rushed in the hospital. He was right there. You are her only child that is your full-time job. The only reason I feel like everybody is so helpful with her, especially him, is because they feel like you lack on that obligation, which is very disheartening to be her only daughter.
And then when she came home after surgery and needed someone to watch her, you were supposed to be that one, but you wanted to go back home and babysit Hank because you didn't trust him.
So that's what I come back to the fact of you pushed it aside, but you forgave him, but you still don't trust him. You need to constantly babysit him. And I'm not trying to be funny, Mimi, because I care about your feelings, but girl, if he wanted to go out with any girl out of the week, your small ass ain't stopped with him. He gonna do what he wanna do, so what's with the babysitting?
Hank is a grown man. If he got up today and said, fuck it, I'm done, and just decided he wanted to leave, there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, you need to learn how to honestly love yourself. And this is real love from me and from your son. And
any man that volunteers to go to prison to get away from you, it's a problem, honey.
What do you mean by you don't have time? What are you doing possibly at home that you don't have time to visit your mom? Are you dusting off teddy bears on a teddy bear shelf in teddy bear land? So you sit here on this couch with me, we chatting it up, and you just don't give a damn and say, I don't have the time, but you have the time for somebody who will drop you out a hat and go to prison.
Your mom wouldn't have done you like that. She was here supporting you when he was in prison. I don't know how you don't remember these things and he get out and then you're all of a sudden a whole different two-faced person.
Maybe you don't even realize she took a bus up there to visit Joe Man in prison and she could have said no, just like she said no when you wanted her to go up there and visit your son in the hotel. Are you okay? We're going to give Mimi a little bit of time to collect herself. I think I went a little bit too hard or too overboard, but you know, maybe I moved too fast. Maybe so she's backstage taking a chill pill. But she'll be back out later to continue this conversation. She said she was all about it. Okay, so we're going to go to a commercial, but when we come back, we're going to finish up this moment with my mother-in-law, Mimi, and maybe come to a calming understanding.
If you're not feeling yourself and you don't know what to do, go online, seek help.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone. Someone is always here to help.
Jay here, reporting live from the Arctic. As you can see, a major blizzard is underway, visibility is near zero, and the wind chill is extreme.
What? Why did you do it? Get that camera out of my face. I have no comment at this time.
Did you really rob all those cable companies of the cable boxes?
Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it, punk?
Rot op hier! Wegwezen van mijn terrein, onmiddellijk!
Klopt het dat u giftige planten in uw achtertuin kweekt en uw buren vergiftigt? Gebruikt u planten tegen uw buren en brengt u giftige planten in de atmosfeer, mevrouw? We're reporting live on 5. This is Jay. I'm live every Wednesday. See you there. I'll be square.
Do you always feel like you and your partner are arguing? Go online right now. Get yourself a marriage therapist to help you get back on track.
Listen, if this ain't working, we can end it now. Y'all don't ever need to be with a man who does not love you. My advice from the Naomi Talk Show.
Are you looking for a really fun game? With Fridays, every 3 Fridays of the month, you can look forward to me in my game show. Name the capital of the Czech Republic. Go ahead, Anja.
Prague!
That is correct. You're right. I'm acting out something you might do to clean up. What is it?
Yes! Sweeping the floor!
You're right. For 500 points, what is the largest mammal on Earth?
The blue whale!
That is absolutely correct. You're right. Does anyone know what Naomi hates the most on her show when it comes down to wearing certain items?
She hates cardigans.
Does anyone know what we're doing right now at this very moment?
Yeah.
We're making a commercial for Naomi TV. Watch it Friday.
We're back from the commercial, and this is the Naomi Talk Show. You're here with me, Naomi. I'm Naomi, and this is my mother-in-law, Mimi, and we're just sitting here discussing depression in her life. Are you okay?
Everything good.
Everything good.
You know, I wanted you to go back and drink some tea, have a little bit of cake, calm yourself down so we can reset.
Yeah. We're discussing some tough issues that were very concerning to me when I visited my mother-in-law last summer, so I brought her to the show to help understand what that was. Now, you said to me a couple of times with Mimi that you were a daddy's girl, and I'm like, what does that exactly mean, that you don't care about your mom?
No, I've already said this to you, that I just was very close to my father. That's all, but me and my father were very close, and we had a better relationship.
You say you guys have a better relationship. You're an only child, better relationship to what? It's you, it's your mom, it's him, it's the three of y'all. How are you extra close?
Wat ik probeer te zeggen is, toen ik uitlegde, begreep hij mijn gevoeligheid veel beter. Hij wist zonder veel woorden een weg te vinden om me meer te begrijpen.
I always asked you this along with Jay when we were there. Do you think he would like you so distant towards your mother because you wasn't like that when he was alive?
Ik denk niet dat hij het nu nog leuk zou vinden, maar het is soms moeilijk omdat hij er niet is en het moeilijk is om contact te maken. Het is altijd al moeilijk geweest om op dezelfde manier contact met haar te maken.
I don't understand why it's so difficult because your mother is not that difficult when it comes down to when me and Jay is around her. She's an easy peasy type of woman, so where's the difficult part? Yeah. And I find that statement kind of ironic because it's like, I can't get along with my mother. You say these are your words, not mine, but then you marry someone who's even more chaotic and even more difficult to deal with.
Right. Ik begrijp wat je zegt. Henk kan soms heel moeilijk zijn, maar we begrijpen elkaar. Het is iets dat we al doen sinds we kinderen waren. Ik begrijp wat je zegt, dat is logisch. Henk kan soms erg moeilijk zijn, maar ik begrijp hem en we begrijpen elkaar.
But that absolutely makes no sense. You can understand someone who you barely knew, but you can't understand the person who created you and birthed you into this world. It's almost like I was saying earlier, you give everyone else a pass, you know, on stupidity or mistreating you, but with your mom, it's like one thing she does and she's just a horrible monster in your mind.
Yeah. Ik weet niet wat het is. Het is gewoon iets hoe ik al vele jaren functioneer. Weet je, wat ze ook doet. Het raakt me echt heel erg en ik probeer dat uit te zoeken.
Me and Jay are both team Mimi. We've always been team Mimi, but I'm not into a team bully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta fluctuate and see why this is happening because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
If Hank throws your dog across the room, you're mad for 5 minutes and then you're over it. Your mother looks at you the wrong way and you're not talking to her for 3 weeks. Where is the logic? I think there's no justifying this, to be honest. And all I think I should say about this situation is you need to find someone your own damn age to play with. Yeah. She is too old for these head games that you play. I was telling Jay when we were back home that I was like, you could have ran circles around Petrie if you tried, but you didn't do that. But no, you want to make drama with people who are not in your age bracket. And she might be your mother, but she is not in your age bracket for you to be throwing this much shade.
Yeah.
The same energy you can give towards your mother is the same energy you can give towards Hank, Petrie, and anybody that makes you feel a certain type of way, including me.
Yeah.
I was saying to my audience earlier, in your mind, you believe your mother is like 35 or at best 50. Your mom is not that age. I was saying to my audience earlier, your mom is not that age for you to just be dragging her anywhere.
Yeah.
Someday she might not be with it mentally or physically.
Yeah.
She's not one of those dolls or teddy bears on your shelf where you could just pull it down and dress it.
Yeah.
She's fragile, but you would know that because you had to take care of your father.
Right.
Well, that her mother could probably run rings around Mimi Hank and a few other people in her neighborhood.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, but still, she's not 35 years old.
I'm going to say this last thing, and then we're going to end it here. And if you want to come back to the show for the third and final sit down, it is completely up to you. I don't know how you'll handle this one looking back.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like on Pacific, birthdays of Albert, your mother's husband and your father, you can do this tit for tat with your mom where it's like, he means the world to me more than he does you. And what I mean, your mother brought you into this world. If anybody needs that attention and needs to be emotional on that day, it is your mother, not you.
Yeah.
Stealing it is crazy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't be emotional or grieve because you are his daughter, but to try to be the center of attention on a day that belongs to your mother, it's just borderline wrong.
Yeah.
Regardless, if it was you who had to do all the taking care of up until his last day, she suffered as well because you get to go home to someone she does not. Her house is empty. Understand that part. You would feel the same way or know how I'm feeling if a woman just showed up at your house, stole Hank, and your mom turned around and said, get over it. You would feel a certain way, so you understand.
Proberen je moeder te overtreffen omdat je vond dat je meer deed toen hij ziek was, neemt niet weg dat zij zijn vrouw is. Dat is jouw moeder. Zonder haar zou jij er nooit zijn.
It doesn't take away the fact that is his wife. That is your mother. Without her, it would never be a you.
And it was good talking to you, Mimi. I hope you do come back for your third trilogy. If not, girl, we said it all and we did it all. I just want to thank you for coming to the Naomi Talk Show. I believe in you. I believe in you. Just keep watching this episode over and over and over, and it'll help. You can thank my mother-in-law. I have such a great story, but I will see you guys next week with an all-new episode. It's going to be great, so come back here Monday. Bye, guys. I had this hallway special designed for you in your episode, so you're welcome. Guys, make sure you subscribe and like, and see you next week.
So we are back from that 30-minute interview that I had 6 months ago with my mother-in-law. It was tough, it was hard-hitting, but it was the truth, and I think she handled it with grace and class.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Even coming on my show is a great appreciation, knowing that I'm a hard-hitting interviewer, and I get into those things people don't want to talk about. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, that full interview, I said I didn't want to talk about certain things because I knew I wanted to sit down with the both of you, Hank, your husband, and yourself, in an interview, which we're doing now.
Welcome to the show, Hank. We're going to be sitting down with Hank. So can everyone give him a round of applause for also wanting to sit down for this interview? Thank you so much for coming.
Since this is like a short mini update of the old episode, and I just wanted to get some things out there that I did not say on that episode. Now, I wanted to bring Hank on for a few minutes because he's in season 3. He's some episodes away, very far away. So I kind of wanted to say a few things to the both of y'all. The first thing I wanted to make clear is when I came down there, the 3 of us had a misunderstanding about the meet and greet with your friend.
It was more of a respect thing, and we haven't seen you guys in a very long time. And because you are happy with making friends with someone, that doesn't mean you should force other people. It's like if you guys came to America together, we would never force our friends on you because the experience we want you to have is getting to know the country with us in it, if that makes sense. I'm glad we squashed that before we left, and you have done a lot for us, so we do appreciate that. But next time, let's be mindful. Let's focus on what in front of us in that and try to get a better understanding at that before we start forcing it. Your good time is not everybody's good time. My good time is not your good time. And clearly all the 3 of us know that, being that we invited you out and y'all clearly declined a few times on what we wanted to do. So you just got to keep that in mind. Your friends are your friends. Me and Jay do our own thing. We're coming to spend quality time. You need to know how to separate the two. I was also told by Mimi, I don't know if this is true or not true, that you kind of banned me from the home after I gave you that letter. Now, you could have told me that to my face, that you didn't want me there. The letter wasn't out of disrespect, and I stated that inside the letter, if you read it, it was letting you know you made me feel very uncomfortable, and I felt like both of you didn't understand. And I also kind of was pissed off at the simple fact that you were still kind of engaging in a relationship with Martin after what he did to Jay. So I think I kind of combined the two together and was pretty much like, I don't want to be around these people when I'm sitting around you angry. You guys know I'm angry, so what's the point? It's not my business to tell you what to do or who you can hang out with. I want y'all to understand that part, but it is my executive position to protect mine and what I love. I want y'all to understand that part. So if I felt like you were still reaching out to him or having a casual conversation with him, then I wouldn't even waste my time coming to the country. Trust me, I'm not trying to bring up drama or be disrespectful because you guys are good to us, but that's the shocking part. I could have went to jail that night and then you would have been hanging out with him. You just got to understand, like, y'all come from a small town, but even being that you're from the Netherlands in a small town, loyalty is loyalty regardless wherever you're from. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I know you wouldn't have cared, but it's just like me and Jay come to the Netherlands and we skip hanging out with you to sit down with your best friend, your old best friend, and have dinner.
that would be disrespectful. It would almost be a slap in your face.
Yeah.
You know, being that he does not talk to you.
Yeah.
That would be disrespectful and rude. And that's how I saw that. I come to the country, I'm jet lagged, I'm sitting at the table and I'm listening to you tell me you're having a casual conversation with him outside your house while you're working on the plants. That didn't make me feel good. And then the same for Mimi as well, as, you know, she's talking to Petri casually about Jay being all over Europe. And it's like, she picked up the phone and called 911 on your son for no apparent reason. No. Me and Jay don't drink, we don't use drugs, we don't do any of that. So to be treated like that by his family, you know, was disrespectful. You said it, the neighborhood said it, so I don't know what happened when we left. Yeah. And I know generally you feel bad for him, not Mimi, but Hank, but if he wanted a relationship with his son, he wouldn't have done the shit he did, so he deserves to be on his own. Yeah. We look up to Hank as a father figure when we're in the country, so when we turn our backs and we find out that you're talking to the enemy, fathers don't do shit like that. They protect their children. Another thing that I found weird is when we were on our way to the Airbnb, you guys were driving us there. Mimi was supposed to have his number on blocked. How he got through is questionable. And I told Jay that once we got into the hotel, I said it was very weird how Mimi said she blocked him and haven't talked to him this whole time, but he was able to call her talking about outside table furniture. No shade, I'm like a detective. I noticed everything, nothing can get past me. So I feel like you're the mother who watched her son be bullied by people and you're also okay with that. At that moment, I just felt like I was the only one who had Jay's side, who had his back, who can protect him from people trying to slander his name. So I wasn't very happy with the both of y'all. Yeah. That was then, this is now. I'm trying to go back to understanding how to make this work, and I would love to be able to trust the fact that you guys understand where I'm coming from. I just wanted it to be clear, if we're asking for too much, stop us before we even get on the plane. That is all I'm asking. We spent a lot of money this last time trying to spend time with you, you know? So it was a bit of a slap in the face, but I get it. You guys work differently than we do, but it's still unacceptable. Yeah, let's move on to the next subject, but keep that in mind, because I don't want to have this conversation ever again in the future. I'm not perfect, but the both of y'all are far from perfect, very far. Yeah. Oh God, I was thirsty. All right, so back to what I was saying. I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad we're putting it all on the table for the world to see. Okay, so we're gonna go to a short commercial. When we come back, we're gonna be talking about a little bit of their relationship and how they need to kind of park the brakes and say, I need some space. Yeah. So we will be right back after these commercials. So come back here, sit with me and Hank and Mimi while we discuss relationship goals and how to speak up and not keep their relationship on mute.
We will be right back. If you like the channel or the program that you're watching, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button below. Thanks, honey. Hey guys, what are you looking at? It's me, Naomi. It's late night. Are you ready? Can you handle what I'm about to bring to y'all TV screens? Oh, I'm your late night girl, Naomi. How are you? We're back on a Saturday. I'm here to make you laugh because the world is so miserable without me. Welcome to the Pink Palace. I wanted a sophisticated set, but my decorator apparently only speaks flamingo chic. Speaking of celebrities, I saw one trying to use a regular coffee maker. It was tragic. They kept asking where the artisanal water button was. They say Hollywood is fake, but look at me. I'm literally plastic, and I'm the realest host on TV. I love Hollywood, where you can be anyone you want to be as long as you hire the right publicist to spin your latest scandal. Speaking of celebrities, I heard Kanye changed his name again. He's now billionaire spiritual architect genius West. Try dating apps. I matched with a guy whose profile said fluent in sarcasm and cryptocurrency. I was like, great, so you're emotionally unavailable and bad with money. So I told my stylist, give me the look like a snack look. Now I know why my cat keeps trying to eat my hair. It's okay if it didn't make you laugh, it's fine. I rented the jokes, I'm gonna mail them back to the company by 2, so it's okay. But if you love my late night, it's Saturday night, be there or be square. I was looking through this letter that I wrote to Hank to see if it was harsh, and I read through it, and I have to agree, I'm a bitch.
I'm reading it.
Oh yeah, I think you're right, this shit is harsh. Okay, that was really rude, I would have put me out too.
Hey, I'm Hank, and I'm here trying out Naomi's hottest peppers that is online for sale right now. I'm the sponsor, and I'm going to test it out for you so you don't have to. He's sweating. Here we go. Let's take one out of the bag, and I'm going to eat it. I'm chewing it.
This one's not that bad, mild. I believe this is the ghost pepper. This is definitely on sale. Fans are loving it!
So if you're interested in the best peppers in the world, that'll be Naomi's hottest peppers. Can you take it or can you not?
Smart to be drinking whiskey and eating peppers at the same time? I don't think it'll go down well.
I do it all the time. I'll be fine, pretty lady.
If these are mild at best, hot.
Get your peppers now at NaomiPeppers.com.
Also, it comes with a small bottle of whiskey, 1-inch bottle, if you order right now. Forget it, I love it, you'll love it too.
I'm back from the commercial, and we're sitting down with Hank and Mimi as we're about to discuss more of their relationship on my talk show. Are you guys ready to get into it? I think you both make a very interesting couple, but I also think both of you step on each other's toes and suddenly take a seat at the table and don't say anything about it for hours. I would call that the mute couple, but on all serious notes, y'all need to express yourselves way more often because I think it would help more in the relationship if you are honest with each other. Like, for an example, if you want to go and work on a project quietly, you need to let her know, Hank to her face, sit here, stay here. I need some peace of mind. Let me go work on this alone.
Yeah.
And Mimi, you need to understand if he feels that way, then maybe he is in a mood where he doesn't want to be bothered, and you need to learn how to respect his boundaries. I know your wife likes to talk about teddy bears and things you don't care about, but when it comes down to women, we just like to talk. Just to talk. You know, and sometimes you just have to kind of knowledge your head and really get into the conversation. Even if you don't care about anything that she's talking about, it helps and it feels good.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like, Hank, if you're in a mood or you're feeling bad about something, maybe you should express it with her instead of keeping it to yourself. And both of you like to bottle things in. And it's like, what are y'all two together for if you can't use each other's ears to listen to it, how y'all are feeling for the day? Even if she doesn't completely get it, she's there for moral support.
Yeah.
I mean, a few times I've been around you guys, Hank would check out for multiple hours and we would ask you several times, are you okay?
Yeah.
I mean, the horse left the barn wagon and he left with the saddle to never return. And it was quite uncomfortable when me and Jay ended up leaving early because it's like, what's the issue? We also discussed sometimes when it came down to fixing yourself up and being very fancy, you would say no a lot about situations, but you got to understand, Mimi, you're not dating yourself. We're not telling you to be someone else or be what he wants you to be.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get you to a place where you're sexy and you're beautiful for your partner so he likes it too.
Yeah.
And you got to understand the difference between that. He's not telling you what to do and he's not trying to control you. Everything you ask him to do, he does. I told Mimi in the last interview that we had before this one that you didn't marry yourself and you're not in love with yourself. Obviously, we all are in love with ourselves, but you know what I mean? You and how you define your sexy is not his sexy or my sexy or anyone's sexy. So you have to compromise. That's what a relationship is. He does not treat you like that. He doesn't dismiss you. Talking about teddy bears for 15 to 30 minutes, he listens. Maybe he's checked out, but he's hearing what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's listening to the things that you like.
Yeah.
And then when he makes a suggestion, like maybe you should have red highlights in your hair or maybe you should dye your hair purple, it's no. You sound like a person you cannot stand, Martin. With all said at the table and said that man does not like change, that sounds exactly like you. You seem to not like change unless it benefits you. You go get Botox, but nobody can tell the difference. You can't keep using his infidelity as an excuse. You and only you decided that you wanted to forgive him and not give yourself time to think or grieve or process what happened in this relationship. That has nothing to do with you being your own kind of sexy. If you were willing to change, who knows what could have happened back then? Trust me, no one blames you for feeling the way you feel, Mimi, about the situation. And who knows what he still would have done it or not? No one knows. And you know you happen to have a person that is very honest with themselves. They tell you all the time they're not a great guy and suggested maybe you should find someone more of your temperament.
Yeah.
But you don't want him to look at anything on his phone like adult content. You can't tell a grown man that he cannot do that. It's not considered cheating, not in my eyes. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
Seeing right now, it's not making any sense to you, but it doesn't make any sense to me or him or my audience. We're all looking at you like, okay, so what's next? You have this whole idea in your head. Seeing right now, it's not making any sense to you, but it doesn't make any sense to me or him or my audience. I'm not here pointing the finger at you, Mimi, in particular, because if I was in the same boat as you, I probably wouldn't have been with him, but that's not the choice you made for yourself. So it's like, are you gonna be his type of pretty, or are you gonna keep torturing him to the point where it happens again and again and again because he's gonna do what he wants to do? I mean, we're not gonna act like you didn't know his character before you got together with him and decided to marry him. You have a dollhouse and you were looking for your Mr. Right, but him and I both know he's most of the time in the villain in the movie. No offense, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying he's not the boy next door. You imagine this character in your head and put him in a role in your storyline that he is not, and when it doesn't line up, you get upset. No offense to you, Hank, but I'm just trying to make a point. When your son jumped on a plane and came to see me in America, he understood the assignment. He knew who he was coming to see. He knew I wasn't the girl next door. He knew I had attitude. I wasn't Miss America. I was the hood rat version of that. So does anybody have anything to say before we end this little session? Does anyone want to say anything?
I just want to say this one thing to you, Naomi. I appreciate you bringing me on the show.
Yeah.
I don't want you thinking that me talking to Martin was some type of disrespect towards you. It wasn't my intent. I just try to be a good guy, but it doesn't always work out.
I know you didn't do it out of disrespect, and that's why I brought you on the show to make it clear that I don't feel no type of way, and I just don't want it to happen again.
I appreciate when you come to our country, you and Jay. You really put Mimi in a mood. And to Mimi, you're absolutely right. We need to work on ourselves. I absolutely do shut down a lot, and maybe it's depression. I really don't have any idea at the time. I just feel very moody, and I don't really like to talk. But you pretty much defined us down to the bone. Everything you said was true, you know? And me and Mimi have to work on those things. We're not very good at communication. We need to work on that.
Yeah.
I think there was just a lot of misunderstanding when you guys showed up. Maybe if we sat down and truly explained it in order, we could have understood what truly happened on what event versus the other. I'm not gonna excuse my actions. I did talk to Martin. I've had conversations with him, but it was more like I felt bad for him, you know? He looked pitiful.
But I do absolutely understand where you're coming from. You're absolutely right. What he did to you guys was very disrespectful. We should have kept our boundaries, so I apologize for that.
But for me saying that we are best friends, we have really never been best friends. He started at the table, he drunk with us, he ate with us, and he went home. I don't consider that close.
I'm not telling anybody what to do. We are all grown, but I should feel comfortable around the people or should be able to trust them.
You know, when I pretty much left the Netherlands believing all of us felt a certain way about that situation, just to come back and it's like, oh, I've been hanging with him. So it was just weird.
Yeah.
And I do want to apologize for the last few weeks of me going off and saying a lot of things, but that's who I am. You could take it or leave it. You know, this is not the first time that I felt like Mimi or you have said something that was quite colorblind, so I got very upset, got in my feelings, and started cussing excessively. I said what I said, I can't take that back. You guys said what y'all said, and I want to be clear, it was never the problem of you guys being honest. Honest is what I live for, or giving a real review. But I said to Jay, it's literally 5 parts. How are they giving a review and they only seen 1 out of 5? That's a bit strange. And then she kept bringing up the game show, which made it even more strange. It's not a competition because at the end of the day, I'm gonna win every time because I created almost everything on this network. But it's all under the rug. We're good here. I'm so glad you guys came to my show. I enjoyed having you. I got some gifts for you guys. Here's a teddy bear and a basket of whiskey from me to the Naomi show. Okay, guys, so we're coming to the end of our show. I want to take my guests, Mimi and Hank, for stopping by. We will see Hank again solo and season 3, and you'll see my mother-in-law. She won't be in the episode with Hank in season 3. She's going to be on What's Up Mamas, a new show coming this fall, my mother-in-law and my mother, Simi. So look forward to that. This was an update episode of season 2. If you haven't seen season 2, episode 14, it's also on a channel right now to go check it out. It's Mimi's solo episode. Once again, thank you for stopping by. I wish Jay was here, but he's a busy man. He's on his game show, but maybe you guys can stop by his studio later. I don't know. We'll talk after the show. Okay, next week, guys, we get back to our regular summer programming, and this episode next week is going to be fantastic. So come back next Monday. Until Monday, I'll see you again. Bye, guys. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week for an all-new episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Like the video, please, right now while you're thinking about it. Okay, I gotta go. See you next week, guys.